Sorry about the technical issues. I was trying my best to get things sorted. It's such a pleasure seeing you, my little girl. I am really excited. Thank you, my lovey. It's such a pleasure seeing you. Today's really going to be wonderful. I can almost tell. It's going to be powerful. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. Awesome. Now let us do the needful. Let's try sharing to as many people possible. Victor, nice to have you on board. Let's do our best to reach out to as many people possible. Today is really going to be wonderful. I'm telling you, it's going to be powerful. It's going to be powerful. We seem to be having a little bit of technical issues. It's looking a little bit blurry and dark, but we will go ahead nevertheless. It's going to be powerful. Okay, try and see how many people you can bring in as well. Well, it's really, really going to be awesome, 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 awesome. Yes, family, it's going to be wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, because the reason why it's going to be powerful and wonderful today is because of the topic. So I'm using this opportunity and welcoming everyone uh, to Mama Helen and you on this wonderful time that I'm going to be sharing with you, and some of our guests as well will be sharing as well. It's going to be powerful, okay? The topic for today is chase your dreams. Chase your dreams, family. It is so important that you do not sit on your horse, that you set up a target, you set up a vision, and then, of course, perhaps maybe you have some dreams that are yet to come to fruition. We have our guests in the house today that will be helping to do justice to this. So we can't even wait to hear them tonight because it promises to be wonderful. But let me start by saying that, okay, a dream is a cherished aspiration, ambition, or idea. It is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotion, empowering you to do everything you can to achieve it. Oftentimes, our dreams are at odds with our realities. Many have big dreams but are too scared to go after them. Some have little dreams but are just too intimidated to go after them as well. Certainly, there are some possible detour and obstacles every dreamer will encounter. It is one thing to have a dream, and it is another to bring it to reality. Everyone has the ability to dream, but not everyone has the willingness to truly chase their dreams. Today, on Mama Helen and You, we will be dwelling on a very life-changing topic that I've earlier mentioned, and it is chase your dreams. Come on, chase your dreams. It's not too late for us to embark on this, even though we just have one month to go for the year 2023. However, we can still chase our dreams, and we can also still see it come to fruition by the special grace of the living God. With me, I have wonderful people that will be helping to do justice to today's Mama Helen and You. So I am excited to bring them one after the other. One of them you actually really know because he's been with us before. Such a renowned man. He is so, 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 so gifted in many ways. Perhaps I will start by hiding him first and foremost. And now here they are with us tonight. It's such a pleasure seeing all of you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay. What about Dr. Gani? You Bangboshi? Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening. I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So let us start by introducing Dr. Gani.
Oh, yes, I can hear you too.
Okay, fantastic. He's a lecturer in the Department of English, Lagos State University, an economist with Business Day newspaper with about 200 newspaper publications. He holds a PhD in English with specialization in human studies. Ganiu Bangboshe has investigated the manifestation and functions of human in different discord types, such as comedies, music, advertisements, classroom, etc., etc., etc. This man, has a lot, that he has established. He's a member of different academic bodies, such as English Scholars Association of Nigerian Linguistics, Association of Nigerian and Pragmatics, Association of Nigeria. In many, many ways, he has been a blessing. We can go on and on talking about this man, but I also know that him being part of today's uh, Mama Helen and You, it's really going to be adding value. It's such a pleasure again, Dr. Ganiu. Thank you for being here today. Oh dear God, he's gone off anyway. Okay, we also have a beautiful lady here as well by the name Abigail Emmanuel. She's trained in prestigious universities in the UK as a legal practitioner prestigious university in the UK as a legal practitioner and a mental health practitioner as well. Abigail Emmanuel is a co-founder of Christ Kingdom Visions and mental health practitioner with a background in housing and legal practice. And of course, she also has passion in evangelism. Awesome. So good to have both of you here today. I'm glad that Doctor is back on. But before anything at all, can you hear me again? Because your voice wasn't as sharp as before. I know that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can hear
Habi,
you,
can you hear
Doctor.
me?
Please, maybe.
We're not hearing you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for
Can
having me,
you
Doctor. I
try
can hear
bringing
you
down?
clearly.
Can you try bringing down the volume around you, outside of yours?
I don't think it's from my end. I think it might be from Dr. Ganiu.
Okay. All right then. Um, hopefully, maybe we'll do something to him. We are not even seeing him right now. All right. So let's start with you. Foremost, it's such a blessing having you today on Mama Helen and You.
Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you for opening up your platform for me to speak. I sincerely do not take this opportunity for granted.
Oh,
I
we
mean,
thank.
I've done my little research about you. I found out a few things that in this complex world that we live in currently, you remain a beacon of wisdom, hope, and integrity. Thank you so much, Mama, for yielding to the Lord. Thanks for being a courageous leader and for the brilliant mind you have for humanity. Thanks very much. God bless
Oh
you,
my
Mama.
God, I am really humbled by that. Thank you so, so very much indeed. Now, let's start with you tonight. I love the fact that part of the things that you also do speaks to vision. So, even though it's a Christ Kingdom vision, but vision can be casted or crafted towards any goals anyway. So beautiful indeed. Now, what is a dream? Because somebody out there might not know this, but what would you define as a dream?
Okay, before I go into the definition of what a dream is, I think it's important that I mention here that the topic Chase Your Dream is dynamic and frequently discussed across different platforms.
Mm,
However, the positive impact of engaging always in this type of discussion
yes,
cannot be overemphasized. So,
thank
which
you.
means that we cannot, is it okay to carry on? So it
Yes.
means that we cannot oversubscribe when we talk about the value of this kind of information, what is
Uh-huh.
to be gained. Do you
Uh-huh.
understand? So it's very important to start on that note. Now,
Yes.
talking about what a dream is,
Hmm.
what is a dream? I
Yeah.
would like to answer that question by using an illustration, or should I say, the story of two people. I think it makes more sense using illustrations because we only retain a few percentage of the information we receive. So I like to use pictures, images, illustrations, just so that we
It's
can retain and remember a lot of things.
good.
So in terms of defining or explaining what a dream is, I
Hmm.
want to use the story of Joseph. For those of us who are Christians on the platform,
Yeah.
Joseph in the Bible, who had a dream, as
Yes.
well as Martin Luther King. For those who know him, an activist in back in his day in America.
Hmm.
I'll just call him Martin Luther King. Obviously, it's Martin Luther King Jr., but let me
Uh-huh.
just stick to Martin Luther King at this point. And I believe we are all familiar with their stories. So
Yes.
both had dreams.
Hmm.
One was a divine revelation that indicated what someone would become or what they should do. It also explained the state of events for Joseph at the time. I mean,
Yes.
we can see the likes of other prophets in the Bible, like Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and
Hmm.
many of them who received divine revelations, knowledge around what is happening at their time through dreams.
Hmm.
The other type, in the case of Martin Luther King, which you already mentioned, is the type of a dream which is about a cherished ambition, a
Yes.
wish, an
Hmm.
aspiration to
Yeah.
achieve a particular goal. That's
Yes.
what we see in Martin Luther King. And we
Hmm.
see everybody literally, we all have a dream, we have
Hmm.
a goal. So, in case of Martin Luther King, he was fighting for the freedom. He wanted the freedom of the Black minority in America. He was passionate about this dream. He was passionate about this goal, ending slavery, injustice against Black Americans. So, this passion was what helped him to achieve his outcomes in terms of the dreams he had. So
Yes.
dreams can be viewed from this sort of two perspectives:
Hmm.
divine dreams versus internal drive to develop, to produce, and achieve some intended outcomes. I hope it makes sense, Mama.
It does make a lot of it, to be honest with you. I mean, I love the way you manage to combine the spiritual aspect of it to, of course, to the mundane aspect of that cuts across whether it is profession or business or what have you. So quite in depth. I mean, that's so wonderful. Thank you so very much indeed. I know that Dr. Ganyu cannot wait as well. Hopefully, because I notice you keep going back and forth. I hope your internet is good enough for us tonight. Dr. Ganyu, are you with us? Hello, Dr. Ganyu.
Okay, am I? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. So please go
Can you
ahead.
hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Can you
hear you.
hear me?
Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Oh my.
We can hear you. Please speak on.
Okay, so if you can hear me, yeah, so I should start by saying that the the top. Okay, yeah, so the topic on dream and pursuing one's dream is one that should interest anybody. As a way of introduction, I will like to use a common statement that a dream
Mhm.
literally would be what you see when you sleep. But frankly speaking, in our context, a dream should be defined as what you see that does not make you sleep. So, while ordinary a dream is what you see when you sleep, a dream in our context is whatever you see that does not make you sleep. Whatever you see that makes you feel like, unless I achieve this, I am not fulfilled. That
That's
is what you call a dream. So I'll describe a dream in that simple language that
that's right.
figuratively, a dream is what you see that does not make you sleep because you
That's right.
think you do not enjoy fulfillment if you don't achieve it. Thank you.
I love what both of you have actually how you've defined the dream, and of course the concept of you know it keeps you awake because there's this urge in you to see it come to fruition, and that's the reason why we're actually having today, because a lot of people have dreams but they do not know how to go about it. Some, for whatever reason, have ended up dropping their dreams, maybe due to one financial challenge. That's so many challenges are things that could create distraction. However, it is very important for ones to chase one's dream. And if there's anything, in fact, that's what keeps you alive, isn't it? I'm sure you will agree with me. So now let's go into it properly tonight, and I will still come back to you, Harby. All right, because obviously the professor in the house seems to be having a bit of challenge with his internet. Okay, so what are the types of dreams? You know, you started off so well when you gave the definition, and just a little light. Can you take us deeper? What are the types of dreams?
Okay, when we talk about the types of dreams, that can be subjective in interpretation, how we want to view it. But I think summarily, we can just put dreams under positive and negative because we
Mhm.
understand that we've put a clear context as to the dream we're talking about here today.
Yes,
In as
yes.
much as the two, as I mentioned earlier, could be linked together. When you
Hmm.
talk about the one you receive when you sleep or the divine instruction, or
Uh-huh.
that you desire, in terms of wanting to achieve an outcome. Now, let me
Yes.
quickly use another example. As a
Okay.
young child, okay, growing as a young child, I discovered from a very young age that I loved and enjoyed helping people.
That's
This
right.
for me was a driving force to
Hmm.
want to become a medical doctor at the time. I
Yeah.
wanted something I could do to help people, or anything that is charity sort of related where I can just give back. This was me growing up. This aspiration was eventually, let me say, validated by divine instructions as I began to grow into spiritual maturity. I now have the understanding of how to receive revelational knowledge, how to understand dreams, how to interpret dreams. So the two interlinked. I grew up without understanding what it means to sleep and receive divine instructions through dreams. I had that passion that I wanted to help people. But when I grew up into maturity, I'm still growing. I could see the correlation between the two. So my passion to help people from a young age is now being materialized. For example, through the charity organization I co-manage in the sense of wanting to give back or actually giving back. So you can see how the two can sort of mirror each other. So going back to your question on the types of dreams, in order not to kind of, because it can be very broad, can take us to another level. I think let's just streamline it. Dreams can be let's say a dream can be positive and it can be negative. Okay.
Hmm.
So when we talk about
Okay.
positive sort of dreams or a positive dream, in terms of putting that
Hmm.
clear context in it, let me use the case of Nelson Mandela.
Hmm.
Nelson Mandela was a great leader that we all aspire to be, like for me, for example, many of us. This was a man who fought for humanity.
Yeah.
Before he could get to that stage, he had that dream. It was positive. He wanted to impact humanity. That
That's.
was a positive dream. We
Hmm.
have another leader whose dream was negative. In the case of Adolf Hitler, his dream was against humanity. So, broadly speaking, we're talking about negative and positive dream. So, for your dream to be acceptable, it has to be positive. Okay? It
Yeah.
has to be positive. So, because like I said, if we have to be talking about different types of dreams, we won't stop at this point. There's so many types we can link into, but they all come under positive or negative dream. Whatever you dream, you dream about, let it be positive. Let it be something that would impact another person, other people's lives, not just for yourself. So those are the ways what should I say? That's my own categorization of types of dreams.
Oh well, that's awesome because so I mean, one doesn't really need to ask you again. You know the what we will probably consider as no dreams. I mean, by the definition you have just given or the answer there is that you have just given, we have the negative and then we have the positive kinds of dream. Now, if we had to I wouldn't know. The Dr. Ganu, I was going to move on, but since you are back on, can you hear us? Oh dear.
I hear
Oh
you
dear.
now.
Okay. All right. So we're looking at the different types of dreams. Have you an answer to that for us?
Well, it depends on the angle from which we are looking at it. If we look at it from the spiritual angle, we probably want to talk about fictitious dream and realistic dream. For
Mm-hmm.
some people, a dream is simply something that facilitates your sleep.
Mhm.
Personally, I dream on daily basis, and I must tell you that I do not attach any strong message to my dreams. It is just something that happens to facilitate my sleep. For some other people, their dreams are significant. All right. So, from the religious cum spiritual perspective, we may want to talk about realistic dreams. Okay. And then we may also want to talk about fictitious dreams. And then when we leave the religious cum spiritual realm, when we come to the realm of reality, we would want to talk about realistic dreams too, and over ambitious dreams. And
Okay.
that is the one that I consider important to this discussion. That
Okay.
when you are dreaming, dream within, dream within the realm of what is feasible. For some people, what they describe as their dream would amount to over ambition. So, for
Mhm.
example, you do not have a job and then you dream to use a 6 million naira Mercedes Benz in what is left of this year. You are not
Mhm.
dreaming, you are joking. So, I would say that basically we talk about realistic dreams and
Mhm.
over ambitious dreams. And what I would like to mention to round off on types of dream is that when we dream as humans who have desires, we
Okay.
must learn to dream within the ambit of what is realistic and what is feasible. Thank you.
Okay, what is realistic and feasible? I mean, you are both coming from different directions, but still pointing towards the same thing, aren't you? Now, if we are in the context of what we're looking at today, which practically has to do with your goals, your aspirations, as it were, whether you want to be the best doctor ever, or you want to end up being the best lecturer, or you want to be you want to hold um businesses all over. You want to go global in terms of business, or whatever line you decide to pursue, or you want to be the best pastor ever. I must chip that in as well from my background, because that's also very important. Okay, so whichever way it is, whichever aspiration you might have desired, there are certain qualities that are expected of you. And I would just want each and every one of us to be able to look into that, because you see, sometimes people just think that, well, uh, the dream of the night is enough. The doctor once said something about being very realistic about your dream. Yes, there's a big point in that, but is it also possible for you to cast a vision or a dream that is above you? That is, because for me, basically, if you have a dream that you can easily achieve, then it's no dream, is it? So that is just balancing what he has said, though. I mean, you if you're over ambitious, that's a bad thing. But some of them, I just think that, you know what, so in order not to be over, ambitious about my dream, maybe I should scale it to, something that is a kind of walkover, as it were. So what are the qualities that we need to possess in order for us to be able to craft out a vision or a dream? Let me go back to her B.
Thank you, Mama. I think when we talk about developing good qualities in order for us to achieve our dreams, I always like to, like I said, use illustration. It works really well for me. I think about one, the God factor.
Yeah.
This is who I am. I can't help it. And then I look at the God factor, I look at the self factor, and I look at others. Okay. So
Mm.
when you look at the God factor, I'll be asking, how much of God do you have to guide you through your dream or dreams, as the case may be? So if you have God, it makes the journey easy for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the way you look at yourself, self awareness is very important in terms of capacity and delivery. As you know, capacity will inform delivery. You cannot give what you don't have. So if you want your dream to manifest, or you want to bring it to fruition, you want, want to walk the work, then you have to have an action plan in terms of, this is who I am. Where I am currently, am I able to achieve this dream? Am I able to achieve this goal? If I can't, what do I need to do to get there? And this is where we can be talking about the SMART sort of goals, in order to be specific, in order to be measurable, and so on and so forth. And then when you talk about others, the factor about other people, your support networks, who do you have on your side to help you achieve your dreams? Because you cannot do it alone. So I break it down into those three main points: the God factor, yourself, and others. If you can look it from those three sort of broad perspective, then it makes your dream a bit sort of more, it brings clarity, should I say, to your dream. That's my understanding. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. What about you, Dr. Gani?
Okay, so in academics, when we write research works, you talk about aim, then you talk about objectives. Whatever aim you cannot break down into objectives, then it is not realistic. I will still say, essentially, one thing guides the whole idea of having a dream. Number one, be certain about what you want. Be certain about what you want. But the more, and perhaps the most important thing for me, is if you cannot break it down into step by step procedures, you may not achieve it.
Okay.
If you cannot break it down into step by step procedures, you may not achieve. So it is not enough to say, this is who I want to be. I want to be the most renowned professor of English in Nigeria. What are the parameters you have identified as conditions for realizing this? So for me, the most important thing connected to having a dream and achieving it is stating the step by step procedures attached to it. Thank you.
Step by step procedure. I think this is actually speaking to being organized. You need to be organized. I think that's the point you are trying to pass across. What about passion, family? What about passion? Do because see, it's one thing for you to have a dream, but it's another thing for you to be passionate about the dream. And in hamstring that, I would want us to look at the aspects of tailoring your dream towards your personality traits as well. Because if the dream you have for you is based on the dream that your parents or an uncle who loves you, who feels that there needs to be a doctor in the family. Even though you're not inclined or it's not your passion, that might jeopardize your dream. So, can you please speak to that, Habi? What do you think about this?
Okay. I think it depends on your background, I would say. Okay. Maybe I might not be well experienced in that sort of area, or my wealth of knowledge might not be able to do justice as straight to that particular question, considering my own personal experience.
Okay.
So, however, the
No. I mean,
opportunity is
okay.
to
Let me help you a little bit, Habi. I know you can. Let me make it a little bit. Let me try to drive it home for you so that you can possibly, answer, properly. You have a passion towards kingdom vision, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's your passion.
Yeah.
That's your passion. Now, if you are forced into it, you won't be where you are now.
Obviously. Obviously.
Does
So
that?
going back to what I said about growing up as a child, the passion was already there about helping people. Nothing else matters to me, even as of now. The way I view life is quite different from what a lot of people around me. My life is all about giving back. I don't attach any other thing to life apart from give back. If God gives you, give back. So this is who I am. That's what I'm saying. I cannot just use mine sort of personality or who I am to judge other people or to conclude on how other people should reason or think, because we are all work in progress. where I am today, I probably was not there a few years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect to be where I am today in a few years time. So just because of the viewers that we are sort of listening today,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to project the wrong information or anything.
That's
Enjoy where you are at currently. Continue to grow, continue to learn, because I've built my relationship with God over time. Do you understand? So I know what God wants me to do, and it'll be very difficult for anybody to talk me out of it. That's what I'm saying. If that is who I am, so I cannot transfer that to somebody else who have not sort of built his own relationship with God to that level. Do you understand? And
mm-hmm.
even if you don't have God, let's say you want to go through the secular way of doing things, we're all trained, we're all professionals. Do you understand? You can't really, personally, I think you can't really take God completely out of it. You look at the secular world, there's still the foundation of God in everything we do, we learn, in terms of integrity, in terms of confidence, in terms of resilience, accountability, developing interpersonal skills, good relationship, with other people, communication, all these things. When you look deeply into God, you see everything tied to God, to God, to God. So even if you don't have God, like I said, and you have a dream, it's still very possible. You might meet him along the way. Even if you don't meet him, go back to the point of positive dreams, or a positive dream affecting other people's lives. Whatever you're thinking of, whatever you want to do, as long as it's going to benefit, other people's lives, I cannot see anything, in terms of injuring you. I can't see that happening. Or in terms of somebody trying to hijack or trying to talk you out of your dream, or discourage you from following your passion. If you truly believe in it and it is positive enough to affect other people's lives, once you have yourself as a deep factor, you have other people, the right support network, you connect with the right association. I think, it is doable, it is possible, and it can easily be achieved.
Okay. I seem to I do not know what is going on, but it looks as though as if I'm having difficulty. I'm only just seeing myself. We shouldn't be. I don't know what if you can see me, and if others can see the three of us. But I think in the process of adding all the speakers, something went wrong. Okay, so if you can try coming back in, I don't know, maybe that would help. But don't close in yet. Let me try and see whether I can still, because I'm not seeing you. Can you see me?
I can see you, Mama, and I can actually, yeah, I can see you.
Well, I can see you from my end, but I can see the others.
Yes, that's what I noticed. I'm actually just seeing myself right now on the screen. So the three of you are not showing on the screen. Okay. So our audience, please kindly bear with us. Let me try and see what I can do to achieve that. I'm going to take you out first, and then I will bring you back in. So, can you try coming back in for me, if you don't mind? Please try coming back in, and let me see how I can bring you back in. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, fantastic. I don't know who came in first. Uh, I'm still not seeing you. Okay, now I can see Abby. Awesome. Okay. Dr. Gani, please kindly try coming back in this time around. Okay. Well, you it's well spoken. Without God, we're nothing. To be honest with you, I don't even know where I would be now if God hadn't been with me. God has been my source of everything. I've been through anything and everything you can think of in life. Okay. But one thing stands sure. I'm a very, very focused person, and I'm self-driven. And these are some of the qualities that, I would also want us to look at, because see, you must have God in order for you to even come up. Because when you are even talking about, crafting a dream or having a dream, your purpose is also part of it. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? If the your purpose, the reason why you're here on earth, is not intertwined with your dream, then you're actually outside of the dream. So you need to be passionate about your dream in order for you to be able to succeed. Hard work is very important. And then, of course, the need for you to work smart. you cannot rule that out of it as well. And then, just like Abby said, interpersonal relationship skills is extremely important, and there are many other things as well that one can actually look at. Now, going further, what are some obstacles that can hinder your our dreams? What are some obstacles that can hinder our dreams?
Okay. Do you want me to go for it, Mama,
Yes,
or is
go ahead.
there any?
Go ahead, please.
I think there's so many factors that can hinder the actualization of a dream or our dreams.
Hmm.
For example, unrealistic expectations. So, if like what Dr. Ratley said, you need to have a kind of action plan, do your feasibility sort of study, get things right, what you want to do, who are those people who've walked the work, how did they get there, do your due diligence, make sure that you have realistic expectations because if you don't, it will actually affect the actualization of your dream. Another point is integrity, lack of integrity. If you don't have it, you're not likely to find people who would support your vision, support your dream, and help you to come to, fruition. Because, like I said earlier, you cannot do it alone. You need people to support you. I
You know,
am where I am today with you, Mama, because of one connection that led to another connection.
so true.
When you look at all these things, it's about integrity, it's about building relationship with people. Do you understand? Another point is wrong association, wrong connection.
That's right.
So because I knew what I wanted to achieve in terms of my dream or
Uh-huh.
my dream, so that really shaped the kind of character I was to be exhibiting. It shaped my habit. It shaped the kind of people I want to connect with. So I take my time. I am cold. I can have acquaintances, but when it comes to close connections, I take my time. I take my time. I pray to God. I connect with people that I know God wants me to be with. People that can actually help my dream come to materialization. So there's no way I would connect with you if I feel like you're not going to help my dream come to fruition. So that is another thing that I will mention: wrong association, lack of resources. So you need, in terms of financial resources, in terms of yourself, developing yourself, being knowledgeable in that area of dream you actually want to. You want to come to manifestation. So you
Hmm.
need to develop that capacity, financial capacity. How do I get the money to bring this, dream to realization? I mean, there was a time I was thinking like this dream would not be possible because where will I get the money to fund this? Where will I fund the money? Where will I get the money to fund that or whatever? But because I had a proper plan, do you understand?
Hmm.
I consulted with people, like I said, who have worked the work, the mistakes they made. How did they overcome it? What did they do? That right association really helped me. So I had my plan. Okay, in the next 5 years, this is the level we're likely to be operating sort of in the next 5 years. And then when we grow, what do we do? So I'm thinking about 5, 10 years, 20 years time. In order for me not to be stranded financially, I'm putting things together. I don't want to depend on people. I know it's good to go for grants, it's good to ask for people for help. This is not just me. I don't have the energy, the strength to ask people for things. So I would rather do what I have the capacity to do and be happy with myself. I'm not sure God can change that in the near future, but currently I am happy to make sacrifices to be a blessing to my generation other than depend on people. So I began to think with my mentors, with my, should I say, support networks, what can I do? What can we do in 10 years' time? We're going to need money to do A, B, C, and D. What can we fix now that will generate that income in 10, 20 years' time to be able to sustain this dream? So I'm already putting that. It doesn't have to be much. Something little, whatever you invest today could multiply. But once you have that dream, once you have that vision, once you have the plan, then it helps you to see your dream just coming into manifestation. That's part of lack of evaluation. If you don't do a proper evaluation to know that, okay, my current income, can it sustain me? Okay, if it doesn't sustain, what do I need to do? Do I need residual income? Do I need to do this business or that business in order to fund this or fund that? If you are the type that want to apply for grants, that's the part of the planning. Like I said, that is not me. Do you understand? Again, that could change in the near future, but currently, I don't have the courage or energy to do that. Because of all this thing attached to charity that they're always coming for people's money. I don't even want to go near it. I don't even want to think about it. I believe if God gives the dream, He will give the resources to bring it to materialization.
Uh,
So another
eh,
thing that could hinder it, I hope I'm not talking too much, Mama.
okay, I just would want to, just possibly to help you further, so that we are properly guided, since we have a very limited time. If, for example, someone is out there wanting to hear from you, how would you advise him or her if the person intends to chase his or her dreams? So, how do we chase our dreams?
How do we chase our dreams? Okay, write it down. Number one is very important. Write it down. Have a clear action sort of plan. The
Mhm.
people you want to work with, your short-term goal, your long-term goal. What do you want to achieve in the next 12 months? In the next 6 months? Be like I said. Go back to the SMART sort of goals. How
Mhm.
do you want to achieve it? Do you understand the time frame?
Yes.
Because if you have a dream, for example, that
Mhm.
it's not going to benefit. Life is about times and seasons. Do you understand? So when you look about 20, 10 years ago, social media was not really, really sort of in the picture as to projecting your dream, or advancing in terms of manifesting your dream. But now I don't think you have a dream, you want it to come to materialization, you will not link it to social media at this point. So somebody that has a dream 10 years, that maybe that had a dream 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and did not project what is happening in terms of social media impact, and
Mhm.
be able to adapt into that sort of change,
Mhm.
that would be a kind of endurance in terms of actually bringing or seeing your dream come to manifestation. So what I would encourage, like I said, just make sure you go through the SMART goals, write it down, have your proper action plan, be guided by the right mentors, understand, be accountable, have the right character, the right attitude, educate yourself. That cannot be overemphasized. You cannot give what you don't have, like I rightly said before. So
Cannot.
limited understanding will hinder
I
you.
love that. Mhm.
Yeah. So again, do not entertain fear. Fear is another thing that will hinder you. Believe in yourself. Be confident in what you are able, what you can deliver, what you can achieve. And again, like I said, in terms of time management, or giving consideration to the timing and everything, we must not entertain the status quo mentality. Do you understand? Like, things will always be done the same way. This is one thing we are doing in the body of Christ currently. We cannot continue to do the same thing if we discover that the result we are achieving is not what we want to achieve. I think we need to go back to God, go back to the Holy Spirit, go back to, just like in the secular world, your
Okay.
team members. What can we do to
What can
achieve the desired results? What we are doing currently is not working. We cannot continue to maintain that status quo mentality.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I couldn't have agreed with you more. I mean, very, very on point, I must say. Well, Dr. Gani has just joined in, and we are simply trying to. Can you hear us? I really seriously hope that you won't go off again. Can you hear us, Dr. Ganu? Dr. Ganu, can you hear us?
I can manage to hear you. I mean,
Okay.
yes, I can manage to hear you now. I'm having a very big trouble with my internet, but I
I
think I can hear you now, if you can hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear. We can hear you. So the question is, how do you go about chasing your dream or dreams, as the case may be? How do you go about doing that?
Okay. Can I get the question again, please?
How do you go about chasing your dreams?
Okay, so how do you go about chasing your dream? Most importantly,
Oh dear. Okay. Perhaps maybe he will join in. Um. Oh God, that's so sad. Now let's move on a little. Hopefully, maybe he will join in. Let's move on. I want us to look at the mistakes to avoid in chasing your dream. So, what are the mistakes that we need to avoid in chasing our dreams?
Being mindful of time, I'll just put it down into three main things. One
Okay.
is taking God out of the equation.
Mhm.
Taking God out of the equation, I believe, is one mistake that should be avoided, because at the end of the day, you need to go back to God when things are going wrong, or who's going to help you. You need God, like you rightly said, Mama. God is very important. I
Yeah.
wouldn't take him out of the equation. And then you need to avoid the wrong association. It is very, very important. Connect with the right people.
Connect
If
with
I
them.
did not connect with the queen of my life, I probably wouldn't have this connection with you and
Mm.
some other good people out there. I really thank God for their life. Do you understand? So the right association is very important. So the mistake you need to avoid, make sure you do away with the wrong association. Again, you can't you can't want to, you can't want your dream to come to light
Mhm.
without developing yourself. Do you understand? I came back from a long trip a few days ago preparing for this program. It took me a long time to read, to kind of do a bit of research. So
Mhm.
you need to develop yourself. Preparation is very important. Do you
Yeah,
understand? I was
exactly.
limited in a lot of things before actually started working on my own personal dream. And I thought, no, there's no way I can come out and disgrace God. Even if I don't have much, the little I have, let me develop myself. So we need to continue to develop ourselves. I'm not there yet. We are not there yet, but we are work in progress. The more we encourage each other or encourage ourselves, another thing is self fortification. That's the right word I'm looking for.
Mm.
Self fortification. Once you have that at the back of your mind, you continue to develop yourself, attend workshops, seminars, training, talk to mentors, talk to people who have done it before. You understand? That will really help. So for me, I think, yeah, if you can take those few things home, it will really help us if we work on them.
Awesome. I totally agree with you. For you to think that you don't need God is already a no-no. I mean, you definitely need God. And then, of course, you need to motivate yourself. You need to constantly improve yourself. And then you need to determine who, within your circle of influence, because actually who you relate to, you become. That's very important. And you said it so beautifully. The other aspect to this that we also need to look at, okay, is when you start self sabotaging yourself. Don't self sabotage yourself. Many times, maybe because of our background or the kind of people that you have around you, before you know it, you start second guessing yourself. Oh, maybe I can't achieve it. Oh, it's not possible for me to. No one has achieved it in my family. No one has attained it. Who says you cannot? I mean, literally, there is nothing you cannot achieve on earth. I mean, as long as you have God with you, and then some of the things that we've mentioned earlier on, and we're still going to mention, it's very, very important. Okay, don't base whatever dream you're intending to achieve on, your personal state or fear of failing and so on and so forth. Thomas Edison comes to mind. Okay, 999 times people. If he hadn't done that, we wouldn't have the electricity that we're using to broadcast today. But the man failed 999 times, but he didn't give up. Perhaps, even I am not sure if I have that such a kind of resilience, because that was, oh my God. But when he was asked, a journalist walked up to him and said, how does it feel to fail 999 times? He said, no, he did not fail, but rather he got to understand how not to produce electricity. And so that's it. So stop self sabotaging. Don't sabotage yourself. There is nothing you cannot achieve on earth if you put your mind to it, and then you also believe in the true and the living God. It's very cute. Then another thing, just to support what you have said, since we do not have another person, Dr. Ganiu, coming up right now. Let me also just chip in some few things that I believe would help, as well. Outside of improving yourself, okay? Outside of improving yourself, which is key, which is very, very important, um, there is what is called mentorship. Okay? You need someone who has achieved what you're trying to achieve. Okay? You need a mentor. You need a mentor. I think the one of the greatest challenge, if I look at the new upcoming generation now, I notice that aspect seems to be changing gradually positively, okay, getting someone who can help you, who can who can impact you, who has been through the journey and know one or two things, even if it's going to cost you some money, it's worth it. Why would you want to make the same mistake that someone has made and has come out of it if you already have someone ahead of you that can help tutor you, adequately? The whole essence of a mentor is your mentor making the same mistake that you might be confronted with tomorrow, but because that mentor is experienced, that has more experience on how to get out of it. So you need that. It's very important. So you need a mentor. You need a mentor. You need a mentor. You need someone you look up to be able to help you. Oh, I'm saying someone. This program is impactful. This is coming from Young. I also saw Mrs. Kerubai cohort from here from the UK as well, saying hello, wholesome speakers, a wonderful subject. Well done, Mama Helen Urishijapo. Well, I'm not seeing some of us coming up with some things here. Okay, Atel has something written out here, and she said, mistakes to avoid what chasing your dreams, holding on to a painful past will fill you with doubts when you are trying to pursue your dreams. And you are so on point with that as well. You won't be able to handle obstacles that arise, and you will spend your energy and worries and regrets. You will be afraid to make decisions because of past experiences. You're quite on point on that, Ete. I mean, what would you say concerning that? Because our past could be a big challenge here, don't you think?
Indeed, indeed, Mama. So
Yeah.
holding on to the past means you can't even move forward. So that's another topic on its own. If we had to delve into that, I don't think we will leave here tonight. So the person who actually dropped that point is very much on point. If you hold on to your, there'll definitely be difficulty moving forward in order to even achieve your destiny or achieve your dream. It is going to be very, very difficult. So let go of the past, look forward to what you want to achieve in the future, and God helping you, you will definitely get there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let go of your past. Procrastination is another. Procrastination, as a matter of fact, when we had many other things apart from laziness and all that, those are common things. Procrastination is a dream killer. Okay. Something that you can readily achieve today, don't make it next month.
Mhm.
Don't make it next month. Oh, okay. Well, so, we are not talking about you preparing now. You have the preparatory period that definitely has to come to bear, because in achieving a dream, you have to prepare for it. But postponing what you can readily achieve in a day or the other day against another week or so is actually killing a dream. And before you know it, someone else can come up with the same idea. So you have to not walk from the back, to the front. So do not procrastinate. Those are the kind of mistakes that you must be very much willing to avoid. Uh, Now, someone might ask this question: at what point do you need to modify your goals or dreams, as the case may be? At what point do you need to modify, and why?
Personally, don't think you can put a timing or a time frame on when you can or when you cannot. I think you should be open-minded. I mean, as part of your contingency plan, things can change. So have that plan on the side. You walk with the flow. The dream is the key message that is up there, but you should be able to adapt to changes in terms of how it's going to be manifested. That was why I made reference to the impact of social media earlier on. So for
Uh-huh.
another one, you rightly mentioned mentorship program, very important. And I think if you link that to complacency, or if you link that to procrastination, that is why you have to think about when you want to connect it to accountability. You probably need somebody that will guide you, that will support you. When you find it, when the journey is getting tough, you need somebody that can keep pushing you, the right people, the right team that will be working with you, very important. So when you have those people, even when you feel like you can't achieve it, you can't go any longer, they will keep pushing you. So these people could be your family members, your motivators, your encouragers. You just need them around you. People with positive energy, the right vibes, people that can just, you are surrounded by them. You have nothing to worry about because they will make sure you get to your destination. So yeah, that's what I would say on that.
Oh, fantastic. Well, in addition to what she had just said, when you feel that, like that what Dr. Ganiwa earlier on said, over ambition, you know, that might be a need for you to go back to the drawing board, and look at the dream again. And then, of course, when you also notice that the dream does not seem to align, with your purpose, that you are up with a particular dream today does not mean that you cannot tweak it tomorrow. You know, you can tweak. Nothing is cast on stone. If it's not working, it's not working. So if there is a need for you to do a little bit of adjustments and so on, there's nothing bad, about it. Okay. You can, and don't be shy, don't be scared doing that as well, because at the end of the day, it is you still trying to achieve your dream. It's not the thing with achieving one's dream. Okay, the thing with achieving one's dream has nothing to do with the amount of work that you have put in. Yes, that can be recorded by you, but people are not generally interested in that. They want to see the success aspects of your dream, and that is the aspect of you being able to realize or accomplish your dream. Okay, so that is important. The I wouldn't know who mentioned the aspects of just having you have a dream and then there's no deadline to it. I think someone must have mentioned, having setting up a time frame in achieving, because when after you've been able to have your dream, then you must set out goals that you need, or things that you need to do to achieve them, and they have to be time bound. Okay, they have to be time bound. Okay, at what point do you need to employ some workers or staff, as the case may be? At what point do you need to do that? When do you also um I mean, what time do you there are so many things. I can't get into that. This is the reason why you need to get my book. I actually have a book written on this, and in the last 2 Sundays now, I've actually really been preaching about dreams. So you might need to look at some of the tapes, and then you need to get my book. It's on Amazon. Chase Your Dream. I just feel the urgency, the need, for us to, because so many things are happening out there now. You're having our young ones gradually deviating. They are chasing cloud out there instead of being very real to themselves, and then of course having a positive impact into achieving what would not only add value to them, but to our society at large as well. So this is important. So you can actually we can't, there's not enough time for us to be able to look into all these things together, I'm telling you. So if you need to go deeper into chasing your dreams, don't forget, you can get it. Just type in, go to Amazon, and you can order for it. And if you're in Nigeria, my daughter Atel is there as well. That can also help out. Maybe Atel can leave a number for people to be able to order from her, or you can go to my website. Actually, you can actually go to my website and you will be able to get the book as well. Okay, back to what we are. Okay, someone will say, all right, I have all these things together, but I do not have money, finance. How do you go about getting your dream financed?
I think I mentioned briefly on that, Mama, earlier on,
So
and in
true.
terms of my own personal experience. So I would say start little, start little. So your dream, obviously, will grow big at some point. But the starting point, your focus should not be on the bigness of the dream or the bigness of the goal. It should be on starting small and then grow. Over time, God will bring help your way. Over time, ideas will come your way that you can actually utilize in terms of raising funds. I mentioned about myself, what I did. I was not depending on people. And I thought to myself, what can I actually do with what I have now? It's all about planning. And I know we'll continue to grow. And when we'll continue to grow, we're going to need more. So in 5 years' time, there's a projection as to what we'll be needing. What do I need to do now in order for me to be able to achieve that in the next 5 years' time, God willing? So
Hmm.
that is then I start planning. What do I need to do to increase my own capacity? To increase your streams of income. Do you understand? You can start investing. Do you understand? Invest in yourself. Things, for example, if you think like there is a part, I mean, I'm not just saying part of the dream you have, you need to go on a training, on a course, on something on the side that can actually help you generate extra income, then there's nothing stopping you. There is nothing. There's a lot of things I do on the side, not necessarily because I need these things for myself, but because I'm thinking of the future, the dream. I do
Mm.
not want finances to stop me, to hinder me. So I began to diversify. I began to think, okay, if I have £1, if I have £2, instead of me using £2 to eat, let me save £5. So let that multiply over time. I start asking questions. I started doing research. I go online. I go do different training on financial education. How can I turn £5 into £10? What can I do? Do you understand? If I wasn't thinking about the future, there will be no need for me to do that. So
So
it's all about planning. Start small and then grow big. Things will fall into place, especially when you believe in God. It will fall into place.
it will fall into place. Well, see, I mean, just in addition to what she has just said, um, people always believe that you need money in order for you to be able to, or there has to be some maybe millions of money stacked up somewhere in order for your dream to speak. But hey, that's not true. It's actually idea that generate wealth. Okay, so come up with your dream first and foremost. Like you said, you need to start tacking some amount of money aside. This is developing saving culture. I'm going to be looking into that tomorrow at 8 p.m. On same on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so join the strategic online that I'm going to be having tomorrow. Now, if you do not have saving culture, you're going to run into serious problem financially because you need cash flow in order to be able to drive your dream. However, um, you can also lean on some of the financial houses out there. Okay, that would mean that you need to package your feasibility study. You need to do a little bit of homework and make that business sellable, because no one is going to invest into something that it cannot see that is realizable in the future, or I mean, it will produce dividend. No one is ever going to invest into that. So that it's so vitally important that okay, let's see. Uh, all right, Dr. Kanu is back. Are you back?
I think it's on mute.
Okay, he's on mute. Okay, you might need to unmute yourself. We can't hear you, and I'm not sure if you're okay. He's gone off again. Oh, so sorry. I missed the Dr. Ganio. We can't blame you. Yeah, it's another topic for another day. We're not talking about our present situation in our nation right now. Okay, so you need to approach. There are different ways people go to those who are into a susu. Okay, this has to do with some groups of people coming together with like mind, you know coming up with certain amount of money, and then, like thrift, sort of, and then they pass it on. That's one method to it. You also have microcredit as well, that you can easily approach microcredit bank, microfinance bank rather, a bank that you can approach. And then you have commercial bank as well, that is available for you. And I also know that there are times that you can reach out to a friend, a colleague, someone who believes in you, that might be able to buy into you. In fact, I always say this: never keep your need to yourself, because you never can tell who might just be able to come through for you. Whilst you are praying and fasting, be very, very open to the whichever way God will choose to meet that need. Don't be rigid. Don't say that it has to be through this method. If it's not that, it's not possible. And then someone might say, but I've tried all this and it's never worked. Then start small. Start small. You had what you said before. Develop a plan. It could be your immediate goal in 5 years' time, in 2 years' time, or whatever. At least start small. You don't necessarily have to. Maybe you want to take over the entire world, but at least start with your town. Or maybe with your family, as the case may be. It's just an analogy, sorry, right there. So start small and then grow gradually, into it. You can actually start business with nothing. You can. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Some of us had to do that. It's a story for another day. Some of us have to do that. No one gave me money, to start business, but in my 20s, I was already a multi-millionaire. Why? Because I had passion for what I was doing, and then I was also self-driven, self-motivated, and above all, I have the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords as my father, my Baba, the provider, himself. So, things that are very, very important. Okay. Dr. Ganiyu, I keep seeing you trying to come in, but every time I try adding you, I don't see your link, and that's what I have not been able to add. But it comes off, I know. That's the challenge. Okay. So forgive me on that. Now, what about using social network? Okay, we know the human aspect of things, but in growing your business, isn't that very important? I'm talking about, using the internet to push your dream.
Yes, I mean, practically that is obviously doable. And how would I'm sort of coming to light in that area. I'm a very, very kind of how do I put myself now? I mean, this is the first time I would be confident showing myself, my face on a live program. It's something that I've never wanted to do, but as destiny will have it, I am here. So I see the importance, I see the need for me to forge ahead and start doing things online, start being a blessing through that sort of platform. Or, yeah. So I would encourage people to utilize social media platforms to push or to project their dream. It would go a long way. It is helping me where I am today, and I know it will continue to help every one of us. So, Mama, as you rightly said, it is practicable, it is feasible, it is
Yeah.
doable, and it's possible to achieve through social media platforms.
Yes, awesome, awesome, awesome. So in trying to leverage on social media platforms, you need to have a website. You need to develop a website. That is extremely important. You need to come up with that, and talking about website, I have uh, Young, where are you? I think you're a comedian from what I see here. Are you based in Nigeria? Are you based in Nigeria, Young? Can we know that? Okay. If you're based in Nigeria, beautiful, then I can give you. I initially said Ete should leave her contact. Apparently, I think I don't know if she hasn't done that. But you can go to my website, and it's www.mamahelen.com.ng. Okay, www mamahelen.com.ng. That's how to get to my oh, you are in Nigeria. Fantastic. So you can order through 080 626 in Nigeria 73408. 080 626 73408, and that's it is line. Okay, you can actually get in touch with her and you get it. However, if anywhere around the world, just go to Amazon, um just type in Chase Your Dreams by Dr. Helen Orishijafo, and you will be able to order. Okay, does that answer that? So in line with what we're talking about, the need for you um, to have a website. And then, of course, the other aspect is you possibly maybe having a Facebook, a Twitter account, Instagram. You know, I heard of the ones that the young ones are using now. It's it's not coming to mind readily, but so you have all that, and through that you can actually push whatever you have going. It's very important. There's a training that you can actually have on that. There's no time for us to get into that. Otherwise, we would have discussed. Like I said, just go get a book, okay? That will go a long way. So you need to do that as well. Then there's another aspect to this, okay? You need to know your customer. You need to know your customer. What will be your target TikTok? Okay. You need to know your customers. Our customers, what will be your target audience? What are the kind of people that you need to, you know, to meet their needs? Because business is all about meeting needs, isn't it? Okay, so you want to be able to know your audience, as it were, and then tailor whatever it is that you are offering towards that. And there's the aspect of packaging as well. You can't lose that. Okay. They said sometimes it's not about what the content, but it is the presentation, that matters. So there was a particular woman when I was growing up. This woman was just frying akara. Hmm. From that akara, she was able, which is beans cake. From that akara, she was able to build several houses, trained all her children through university, and what. She became a very big woman. What was it? She started, doing being beans cake with honey. I mean, she diversified the same product, but variety. She was able to have different flavors to beans cake, and that was selling like no. I wouldn't know what she's doing presently now, but what I'm talking about now is well over 50 years ago. I mean, she was good. She was good. She was good. And she did so marvelously well with herself. Every time I think about that woman, an uneducated woman, but yet she knew what she needed to come into the market with. And through that, she was able to she was able to realize her dreams, as it were. Now, in casting your dreams, because it's very important, sometimes people think that it is only business. So, to a professional person out there, how do you chase your dream professionally?
How do you chase your dream? How
As a
do you?
Yes, as a career man or as a career woman.
Okay. I'll look into that as the kind of process you go through to actually get your dream to that manifestation, full blown manifestation stage. Again, like I said, you can't take God out of me. So, because any dream that is received divinely goes beyond the dreamer. When your dream is built on the knowledge you have in the Word of God,
That's right.
that is the greatest light that can shine
Hmm.
on one's heart. So that sort of dream would never go unfulfilled. It would definitely come to manifestation So I would say, chasing your dream, make sure it is built on the right foundation.
Awesome.
Whether you want to view it spiritually or you want to view it secularly, it doesn't matter. The right foundation, the right foundation, the plan you want to put together, the short term goal, the long term goal, get it right. Clarity, the character, the capacity, the resources. Put all of these things together. It is very important. When you do that, you also need to be able to track your progress. Because in the process of tracking your progress, you can actually identify
I
the
love that.
area of development. So, in the process, you need to be able to embrace your failures because your failures actually a stepping stone towards perfection. Do you understand? So embrace your failures, be honest to yourself in terms of accountability. Have somebody as a backup who can actually tell you to your face, you're not getting it right. Go in this direction. You're actually getting it right. Keep going. Even when you make mistakes, you rise up, you continue. Another thing is you need to practice gratitude. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your little achievements. When you celebrate yourself, you would develop, you will get the motivation to go on again. So it's a process. It's a process. If you understand that, those who have achieved today, they've gone through thousands or millions of miles to get there, that there's no need to rush. It is not about you at the end of the day. It is about giving back. Yes, it's about you to an extent, but if you put yourself to a side and just consider the humanity you want to bless,
Hmm.
the nature of giving back, if that is your focus, there is no rush. You've got it written down. You've identified your area of development. You're working towards making progress. You identify your failures. You're able to sort of find the right intervention to mitigate those sort of failures.
Exactly.
Accountability.
Exactly. Because of time, I noticed there are some questions from social media that we might need to provide answers to. But in addition to what you have just said now, okay, I mean, what would you want to become tomorrow? In 5 years' time, like she has earlier on said, do you want to become the manager? Do you want to become the executive, the CEO of the company? Or what do you want to, and in becoming that, there are certain things that are very important. Okay, you need to be mindful of your down line, your middle line, and your up line. The down line are your subordinates, the middle line are your contemporaries, okay, your colleagues, although they're all, but at least these are your contemporaries. And then of course you must also acknowledge those who are above you, in terms. And in all this, don't forget, you need to have relationship skills. You need to be, relatable. You have to associate, you have to be friendly, and so on and so forth. It's extremely important. There's nothing bad in you coming back from your Christmas holiday with a tie for your boss, who is a man, and possibly maybe a little scarf, for his wife. These things are not, they're not that expensive, but they go a long way in cementing and oiling your relationship. A relationship is is very, very key, in terms of growing your career path. Okay, and then the other aspects is in you constantly brushing yourself up. That you went through university is not enough. Okay, you have to start getting into some, training that will help give your ambition or your dream direction. um, Having a master's degree, doing some management, courses, and so on and so forth. Areas of deficiency, seeing how you can oil it, you can improve it through some of the training programs and all that. You have a lot of them now online. All right, and there's nothing bad in you, doing that. It will help you a great deal. And then on your own self as well, you need to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself in terms of your outlook. Okay, there is a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Okay, the knowledge, okay, is the ability to acquire information, but wisdom is the ability to apply the information you've gathered. So, that aspect is very, very key for you to be able to grow through the ladder. And then character speaks to character as well. I mean, oh my God, no matter the qualification you have, if you have no character, I'm sorry, you can't go too far in career, in pursuing your career. Okay, you cannot go too far if you're the one that has picky fingers and so on. You're going to be running into trouble. Okay, cut your coat according to your cloth, not your size, but according to your coat. Don't be over ambitious where you think that you need to start driving limousine now, when what you earn can only take care of a beetle. you know Many years ago, I don't know whether they're still producing beetles. But that's an analogy there. It's very important. Just grow gradually. Take your time, slowly but surely. All right, you will get that. Don't think about getting up by destroying other people. It will never work. You might achieve it now, but later on it will catch up with you. Okay, wish others well, but be focused, in your aspiration. All right. And then, of course, never look down on your subordinates, because you never can tell when they will speak on your behalf. And again, ensure to have a solid relationship with your direct supervisors, and even those who are the hem of affairs in the organization, because you never can tell whose voice will count for you at the board meeting. Okay. Well, so many things to talk, in addition to what sweet, beautiful, beautiful lady has spoken, today. There are some questions that we need to quickly, and we just have 3 more minutes to go. Oh, this is coming from Ghana. Ghana, Viviana from Ghana. And she says, right from my teenage age, I have admired career women in politics and always wanted to be one. I got married to a career man in banking whom I thought would understand me more on career matters. I'm being the women leader in my constituency, but now my husband said he does not like women playing politics. He has even asked me to resign. What should I do? Oh, we have to be very brief because we have just less than 2 minutes now. Bullet way.
Go back to God. Go back to God's word. Is the issue of submission. Is your husband is your head, and you have to submit to him. If there's anything you want, take it to God in prayer. If you believe in him, he can work on the heart of your husband to agree to you achieving your dreams. That's what I would say.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, you're right. You're on point. On that. And this is the reason why there are some questions you need to ask before you say yes. Okay, it shouldn't be that it will be in marriage that the man will now be telling you to jettison your goal, which is already bad, because when a man tries to suppress his wife, you're never going to get the best out of that woman. She might say yes, but that yes, she can even hate you forever. The fact that she's unable, to realize that. So you've heard what she has said, but take it a little bit further. After praying and all that, try to look for people that he listens to, that might speak to to him as well concerning this. And don't give up. Just keep trying. Never give up your dream, but nevertheless, God will help you to be able to see how in agreement with you. Never marry someone that can only provide your coat or your bag, but cannot support your you. It's very important. Okay. Kelvin from Lagos. Good evening, ma. I'm 17 years old. My dream is to be an engineer, but
Yeah.
my parents said their dream for me is to be a doctor. I'm really confused on what dreams to follow. Please advise.
You need to follow your dream. At the end of the day, it is your dream, not your parents' dream. But
That's
the
that
end,
that that answers it. That answers it, sweetheart. You need to follow your dream. However, don't forget, the Bible also says that we should honor or obey our parents, because in honoring it
you
also means
say that.
obey, isn't it? Now, if that is what it is, okay,
Okay.
you also need to talk to them. Don't judge, appreciate what they think, because as parents, they want the best for us. They want us to achieve purpose. And just like we are dreaming, they're also dreaming to see what you want to become tomorrow. Okay. I'm a mother, so I know what I'm talking about. I even had a situation that I had to handle, recently, concerning this. Now, approach people that might be able, uh you know to get your parents to see reason. Sometimes it could even be your, a teacher that is very, very close to you, that might have the power of persuasion, that might come in on your behalf, or something, or an aunt or an uncle in the family. Okay. In addition to what she has said, I'm not from Gombe State, Nigeria. I was a very hardworking and promising lady before I got married to my lovely husband. I was into clearing and forwarding during our courtship. I told him of my dream of becoming an international businesswoman, which he promised to support me vividly. 2 months after our wedding, my husband warned me seriously to drop all my dreams and ambition and focus on his own. That makes me feel suffocated. What should I do? I mean, I think that also seems to tally with what Vivian earlier on asked. And so, because of time, just follow the part of what we earlier on advised concerning Vivian, okay? Let's pick we still have more, but we have to stop somewhere here because we're already out of time. Ma Shea from Worry. Mama, I really love your program. It's been quite inspiring. My question is my dream the same thing as what I have passion for? Is my dream the same thing as what I have passion for?
Let me just ask that question using my own example. I have a passion, or should I say, I have a passion in the medical field. That's my passion, helping people with their health. But my dream is to give back to my community. I can give back through my career, but it not necessarily, it doesn't have to be solely my career through that which I can give back. I can also use other means to kind of actualize my dreams. So view it that way. Dream can be interconnected, or it can be related to your passion, but not necessarily the passion is what informs your dream, if that makes sense, ma'am.
I mean, you're right on point, Abby. You're quite right. Your passion might be different. Okay, just like the question that the young man earlier on asked. He wants to do something, but the parents are saying otherwise. However, you can also have, so it's a two-way thing. You can be passionate with your dream and carrying on doing the dream, but you can also have, for passion for something, but still find yourself in a different field. And this has to also do with your small little beginnings. Somebody might be a worker, but might have a dream of being a doctor with a hospital, or a lawyer practicing, having his or her, chambers. So I mean, it starts with something, okay? So wherever you are right now might not necessarily be where you want to be tomorrow, but is your starting. So don't belittle your small beginnings. But the most important thing is that you must never, never jettison your area of passion, because that's where fulfillment comes in. Well, it's been wonderful being on Mama Helen and You today. And we also want to use this opportunity in appreciating Abby Emmanuel. Abby, come on. You've done so marvelously well today. Thank you so
Thank you,
very
ma'am.
much for being on Mama Helen and You. We've really learned so much. I'm even hearing someone said we need to have a part two of this. So we'll look at it and possibly bring you back, as well. And of course, Dr. Ganiyu. Sorry you couldn't really participate today because of your network, but nevertheless, the little bit of your time, yes, you contributed immensely, and we are so appreciative. We wouldn't have been here today if not because of all of you that are watching around the world. Thank you so very much indeed for being a part of today. We have to go. I know some of you are already signing off. We are short out of time. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Mwah. Bye-bye. Don't forget to get the book on Amazon or get in touch with Atel. Okay, bye-bye. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you, Mama. God
Bye,
bless you.
Abby.